Well, this is kind of embarrassing, but I figured I'd come to you with it because me and Nintendo go back a ways. I just got out of the shower and sat down on my couch. My kid left one of the Joy Cons facing up in the couch cushion, and I got a Joy Con stuck up in my rectum.
Alright, this is a prank call. Nintendo disconnecting.
What is going on, guys? It's the Partially Naked Dinosaur P&D here. Today with a new show called Versus. We're going to take two video games with similar attributes and make an informed decision on what game we should spend our hard-earned cash on. Let's roll that beautiful Switch footage. In this corner, pricing in at $49.99, the two-time epileptic seizure game of the year, Dragonball Xenoverse 2! And in this corner, pricing in at $59.99, the former Wii U exclusive champion, Pokken Tornament DX! Alright, boys, I want a clean fight. No melting my Switch. No paid DLC. Touch Joy-Cons and come out swinging. So we know both these games came out September 22nd, 2017. So it was a rather tough decision on whether or not I should pick up Pokken or Dragon Ball. I should let everyone know right off the bat that I'm not a huge Pokemon fan and I'm not a huge Dragon Ball Z fan. I've dabbled in both, but this review will be non-biased to either party. Content-wise, Dragon Ball Z just blows Pokken out of the water. Pokken DX's menus are better, they're easier to get to each activity, they have local battle, daily challenges, they have online leagues, which I believe are online. I didn't know if the person I was playing was a computer or another person I was playing with. I was kind of confused about that. Single battle mode, they have a practice mode, and it runs smooth. The menus are a lot smoother in Pokken than Dragon Ball Xenoverse. One of the biggest gripes I had with Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 was that I believe there's a lot of hand-holding. There's a lot of tutorials you have to go through before you can actually partake in a certain kind of activity. There's a lot of talking, a lot of reading in this, and I'm not a huge fan of that. I kind of just want to jump into the action. Where Pokemon has this simple menu where you get to choose what game type you want to play, Dragon Ball has you run around the map from point A to point B to point C to point D to get to certain online battle and other content. It is kind of remedied by the fact that they give you this little bike that you can run around on, but at the end of the day, wouldn't it just be simpler to give you the option of having a screen where you can choose what kind of battles you want to play without having to boot up the main feature? Pokken is just a fighting game. There's not a lot of modes, but as far as Pokken goes, it's strictly a best 2 out of 3 match format. Dragon Ball has the fighting mode that Pokken has, but on top of that has online and offline parallel quests where you can battle multiple characters with your friends, and you can also play Time Patrol where you battle old episodes of the cartoon, try to change the outcome. There's a lot more to do in Dragon Ball than there is in Pokken, so I'd have to give that check mark for content to Dragon Ball Xenoverse. One of the big gripes I had with Dragon Ball Xenoverse is the fact that it's an epileptic seizure in a box. out at some points. It's moving so fast that when I put Pokken in, it felt like Pokken was running slow. You're throwing a Kamehameha, you're disappearing, reappearing, hitting someone in the face, hitting them in the nards, turning around, flying to the ground, flying up. It's pretty hard to take at first. You get used to it, but it does feel like Pokken is more control-wise accurate with the buttons you're pushing. I'd like to take a second to slow this video down to point out that this Pokemon has a dick and balls. That's all I gotta say. These games are button mashers, don't get me wrong. You're just sitting there slamming the buttons on both. For a regular player like me and not like a tournament player, where a tournament player would take the time to learn each moveset, I smash the fuck out of these buttons, okay? Pokken is easier to control the player. Dragon Ball seems like there is a little bit of glitchiness when you're fighting. Yeah, could be because I'm smashing the buttons and the game's moving really fast. But as far as controls go, Pokken takes the check mark. So the final aspect we're going to look at is graphics. Which game has better graphics? And this is a really hard one because Dragon Ball Xenoverse is made to look like the cartoon. So in that aspect, they nail the graphics. The graphics look exactly like they're supposed to. They look like you're inside of a cartoon, and that's the way they were supposed to be developed. Pokken, on the other hand, does not have graphics like the anime cartoon. Style and presentation is exactly like Tekken. So if you're a fan of Tekken, the graphics are pretty much the same, just with Pokemon characters instead of Tekken fighters. At the end of the day, we have to choose one because we're tied one check mark apiece. In my opinion, it's more impressive that they got the look and feel of the Dragon Ball anime cartoon as opposed to just like a port of a Tekken game. The graphics on Dragon Ball are more unique, and there's nothing more satisfying than seeing this type of animation when you're blowing an opponent away. So with that, I give the graphics portion to Dragon Ball Z Xenoverse, and that would give Dragon Ball the win with 2 check marks to 1. Leaves us with Dragon Ball taking the victory 2-1. At the end of the day, both games are fantastic. The price point on Dragon Ball Xenoverse, $49.99, $10 less than Pokken. So I say, if you're going to get them both, pick Dragon Ball up first. There's a lot more content. Graphics are better. Controls are a little iffy, but at the end of the day, you'll have a lot more fun and a lot more hours of gameplay with Dragon Ball than Pokken Tournament, although Pokken Tournament is worth a pickup as well. So until next time, guys, don't poop in the lake. P&D Stream, I'm out. This has been a presentation of the Partially Naked Dinosaur.